Hello. This is something I've often wondered about. Here in China, they got a lot of these, I'd say this is like a complex of buildings. Each one is 30 stories high, plus there's a little shorter one in the back there, maybe 25, but the rest of these are 30 stories high, plus, let's say a 3-story store section on the bottom. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings on this side. I'll try to get around to the other side and we can take a look. There's probably another 7 over there. There's nobody in these buildings. They're empty. It's so weird. Got these kind of complexes quite a few places around the city. Now I know there's sometimes when the government rebuilds an area and they ask people to move out, I think they pay them for their homes, and then they put them in government buildings. So these could be government buildings, but one time when I did see another complex like this, I actually went into security to ask about it, and they said it was dorms for BYD, which is a large car manufacturer here, really large. They have factories with 25,000 people working in them. You can see the store sections on the bottom here, and then they got the buildings up top, apartment buildings. Absolutely no people, and there's no when they put new buildings up and they're going to be occupied, they typically hang these big banners with phone numbers on them. Don't see those here either. These look like they've been here for a while, actually. So I'm going to have to go up to the corner and get across the street before I can go see what's on the other side. So as you can see, these are not small buildings. You can also tell there's no people in them. Generally, there would be some provision for, especially if you have a balcony, some provision for hanging clothes to dry. I don't see a single pair of underwear up there. So, I mean, yes, of course, it's possible that each apartment complex has its own reason for not being occupied. Shoddy construction might be one. But, I mean, the sheer number of these complexes, so strange. So here's a bunch of empty stores, and you gotta suppose that if a building like this was occupied, that was occupied, they probably wouldn't have much problem getting tenants for these stores. 为什么没有人？
现在还没人住，还没装修好。
Oh, okay. Alright, here's a store with it's occupied. So this is called City Center. Completely barbed off. There's actually more than 14 buildings here. It's huge. This is like a whole, you can imagine the underground parking that must be here. Must be vast. You could probably have concerts down there. I imagine this whole underground here is like a cavern. All empty. This empty complex here, I'm guessing, could probably house, upwards of 10,000 people. You got, see, this is a whole other section here of empty buildings, unfinished. Of course, it doesn't look like they're doing much work on it either. Shouldn't say that. Today is still Spring Festival, so it's still a holiday. Like a ghost town. With right next door buildings that are occupied. So let's say 30 stories. You have at least, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 or more apartments across, counting by the balconies. That's 120 per side, 240 homes per building. And I'm going to say there's, let's say at least 15 to 20 of these buildings here. So 2,400, 5,000, it's like 5,000 empty homes right here. So if you put 2 to 3 people in each one of those, talking 10 to 15,000 people. And I can show you actually plenty of these empty buildings, which that part is kind of weird. It makes me wonder about the real estate situation here, because if there's so many empty ones, how can the price possibly keep going up? But it does. So when I've went to look at these new apartments in the past, not this set here, but at another complex they were selling in advance, they had one building finished and they were showing different styles of rooms. The buildings weren't even built, they were all sold out. And not cheap. So yeah, this is probably 15 of these, not skyscrapers, but 30-story apartment buildings. Say about 6 or 7 maybe unfinished. You can see they got the, looks like they got forms on the balconies up there to make the balcony, pour the balconies. That's what that looks like to me. I'm trying to zoom in here, take a look. See, those look like all forms to make balconies. So really unfinished. They do have some equipment hanging there to do some work on the outside of the building. Some of these don't have windows in them. Like each building has its own set of equipment. Yeah, there might be more apartments in there than I thought, because I counted 4 per side, but they got, looks like at least another 2 in the middle there. Maybe 6. The middle ones don't look too deep, so maybe they're 1 apartment wide, but so it'd be 8 maybe 10 per floor. Yeah, these are all being worked on. Tiles out here, waiting to go on the exterior. Yeah, I can definitely show you more of these. There's certainly a lot around. As a matter of fact, don't know for sure 100%, but those over there to me look like they're also empty buildings. You'd think they'd have, maybe they're all pre-sold. Like I said, there's no phone number on the building. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.